What if I told you that the very pill millions of men over 60 depend on to get hard, Viagra, is not only failing you, but silently robbing you of your natural strength as a man? The truth is, relying on a pill for your manhood is like patching a leaking roof with tape. It may hold for a while, but the damage underneath only grows worse. That is why I say with full conviction, forget Viagra. My name is Dr. Mohit Khera. I am a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping men restore their erections, rebuild their confidence, and enjoy intimacy again. I have treated thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 90s who believed their erections were gone forever until they discovered the natural solutions I am about to share. Here's the paradox that no one tells you. You've been led to believe that age alone steals your erections, that the only way forward is a prescription pill. But in reality, your penis can revive itself when you feed it the right nutrients, and most men are unknowingly eating foods that sabotage blood flow and testosterone every single day. Today, I will reveal 3 powerful foods that can restore blood flow, reignite testosterone, and bring back rock-hard erections, even at age 95. Just as important, I will expose 3 common foods that quietly destroy your ability to perform, foods that may already be sitting in your kitchen. And if you stay with me until the end, I will uncover the one food that works like rocket fuel for your erections, something so simple yet so overlooked that it can change your confidence and your manhood almost overnight. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another men's health tip designed specifically for you. And if this topic speaks to you, type YES in the comments. If not, type NO, so I know how to serve you better next time. Now let's begin with the first food, one that's been trusted for centuries and is far more powerful than most men realize. This simple food not only fuels your body with protein, but also supplies key minerals that directly support stronger, longer-lasting erections as you age. 1. Greek yogurt, the slow-burning erection fuel. When most men think about food for strength, they imagine steak or eggs. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful allies for your erections is something as simple as a bowl of thick, creamy Greek yogurt? I have recommended it to countless patients over the years, and I can tell you this. Men who commit to adding Greek yogurt into their daily routine often notice a steady, almost surprising change in their energy, their stamina, and yes, the firmness of their erections. Why does Greek yogurt make such a difference? First, protein. Erections are not just about desire, they are about chemistry. Your body needs nitric oxide to relax blood vessels and push blood into the penis, and nitric oxide is built from amino acids. 1 cup of Greek yogurt provides more high-quality protein than most cuts of meat, giving your body the raw material it needs. Second, calcium. Most men think of calcium only for bones, but in reality, it controls the contraction and relaxation of smooth muscle, and your penis is full of smooth muscle. Without enough calcium, erections are weak and inconsistent. With it, the penis responds more quickly and stays hard longer. Third, probiotics. The live bacteria in Greek yogurt calm inflammation and even support testosterone levels. I've seen men with low energy and fading libido revive themselves simply by restoring gut health, and Greek yogurt is one of the easiest ways to do it. There is also history to this food. Thousands of years ago, shepherds in the Greek mountains discovered Greek yogurt by accident. They lived hard lives, but many remained vigorous well into their 80s. Researchers now know that their daily yogurt habit gave them lasting strength. When I think back to my own patients, the men who thrived in their 70s and 80s almost always embraced simple, nutrient-dense foods like this one. Start your day with a bowl of Greek yogurt topped with berries, or blend it into a smoothie with bananas and nuts. It's inexpensive, easy, and profoundly effective. But here's the truth. You could eat Greek yogurt every single day and still struggle if you're missing a critical partner food that unlocks its full erection-restoring power. And that brings us to the next secret most men overlook. 2. Lentils, the forgotten testosterone booster. When I first mention lentils to my patients, many of them laugh. They picture bland soups or old-fashioned casseroles and can't imagine this humble legume making any difference in their sex lives. But I've watched men who were struggling with weak erections and fading energy bring lentils into their diets and discover that their bodies responded in ways they didn't think were possible after 60. This tiny food is far more powerful than most men realize, and it has been fueling strength and vitality for thousands of years. Lentils are loaded with protein, almost matching meat, but without the heavy cholesterol that clogs arteries and strangles blood flow to the penis. One cooked cup delivers about 18 grams of protein, more than enough to make a serious difference when your body is rebuilding tissue and producing nitric oxide for stronger erections. But protein is just the beginning. Lentils are also rich in iron, and iron is essential for carrying oxygen through your bloodstream. Erections live and die on oxygen. Without it, the tissue inside the penis becomes starved, and erections collapse quickly. With it, your penis swells, holds blood, and stays firm. There is also folate in every serving of lentils, a vitamin that helps your body create fresh red blood cells. More red blood cells mean more oxygen delivered directly to the tissue that matters most. That's why men who eat lentils regularly often report not just better erections, but also better stamina, better recovery, and even clearer thinking. In fact, history shows us that Roman gladiators, men who fought for their lives in the arena, were called the barley men because of their reliance on lentils and other legumes. They understood that real strength could be built from these plants. I still remember one patient in his 70s who came to me frustrated that nothing seemed to work. When he combined lentils with Greek yogurt, the change was almost immediate. His energy returned, and his confidence in the bedroom soared. That combination creates what scientists call a complete protein, giving your body every building block it needs. But here's the catch. Even lentils can't do their job if your arteries are starving for the healthy fats that keep blood flowing freely. And that leads us straight into the next food, one that acts like nature's own version of Viagra. 3. Peanuts and peanut butter, nature's artery opener. There is something almost comforting about peanuts. They are simple, familiar, and for many of us, they bring back memories of childhood lunches or late-night snacks. Yet hidden in this everyday food is a power that most men over 60 have completely overlooked. Over the years, I've had countless patients come to me, frustrated by pills that no longer worked and desperate for a natural solution. When I suggested something as ordinary as adding peanut butter to their diet, many looked at me in disbelief, but when they tried it, they were shocked by the difference. Peanuts and natural peanut butter are rich in niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Niacin is like nature's own erection pill because it opens blood vessels, allowing blood to rush more freely through your arteries and directly into your penis. That surge of circulation is the very foundation of a strong erection. Unlike drugs that force an artificial response, niacin strengthens the natural pathway your body is meant to use. Along with niacin, peanuts provide healthy fats that keep your arteries flexible and clear. Unlike the cholesterol-laden fats from heavy meats and eggs, these fats protect your heart while fueling your stamina. With every spoonful, you're not just feeding your body, you're nourishing the very system that makes intimacy possible. Peanuts are also high in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that shields the delicate tissue of the penis from oxidative stress. I have seen men who thought their erections were gone forever regain confidence simply by making peanuts a regular part of their diet. One man in his late 70s told me, with tears in his eyes, that he felt like his body had been given back to him. For him, it wasn't just about sex, it was about dignity, independence, and feeling alive again. 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter spread on whole grain toast or blended into a smoothie can become your daily insurance policy for stronger erections. But before you rush to the kitchen, I need to warn you, there are common foods that can undo all these benefits in a single meal. And the first one is sitting in almost every pantry in America, silently sabotaging men's erections every day. 4. Seed oils, silent erection killers. For years, men have been told that oils like canola, soybean, and peanut oil are heart-healthy. I can't count how many patients have proudly told me they cook everything in canola oil because they thought it was the smart choice. But when these same men sat across from me, frustrated that their erections had grown weaker and weaker, I knew exactly what was happening. Seed oils, despite their reputation, are one of the most destructive foods a man over 60 can put into his body, especially if he wants to preserve strong, reliable erections. Here's why. When seed oils are heated, which happens every time you fry or sauté with them, they break down into toxic compounds called oxidized fats. These fats inflame your blood vessels, stiffen your arteries, and damage the very tissues in the penis that need to remain supple and responsive. Erections depend on smooth blood flow, and seed oils are like pouring sludge into your pipes. Over time, they choke off circulation and leave you wondering why nothing seems to work anymore. I once treated a retired athlete in his early 80s who had been eating protein-rich meals for months with no results. The culprit? He was cooking every dish in canola oil. Once he switched to olive oil, his erections returned within weeks, and his joint pain disappeared as well. It's not just about inflammation. Seed oils also trigger insulin resistance in the muscles, including the smooth muscle of the penis. This means that even if you are eating the right proteins, your body literally cannot absorb the amino acids it needs to create nitric oxide and sustain an erection. You're locking the door to erection strength without realizing it. If you truly want to protect your erections, trade those seed oils for natural fats your body understands. Extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, or even grass-fed butter. These not only avoid the damage of seed oils, they actively help your body use protein more effectively and reduce inflammation. I've seen men reclaim intimacy and confidence simply by changing the oil in their kitchen. But oils aren't the only hidden culprit. There's another daily habit that millions of men swear by, yet it quietly drains testosterone and blood flow until erections are nothing but a memory. And that is where we go next. 5. Coffee. The hidden drain on your erections. Coffee is such a beloved ritual that most men can't imagine starting the day without it. I understand that. I've had patients sit across from me, smiling as they describe their 2 or 3 cups every morning, not realizing that this daily habit is quietly draining the very strength they want to protect. I remember one gentleman in his late 60s who came to me exhausted, frustrated, and confused about why his erections had become weaker despite eating well and exercising. The first thing I asked him was simple. How much coffee are you drinking? His answer told me everything. The problem with coffee isn't just the caffeine. Coffee contains compounds called polyphenols and tannins. While these sound healthy, in excess, they actually block your body from absorbing vital minerals like iron, calcium, and zinc. These minerals are the backbone of strong erections. Iron delivers oxygen, calcium allows muscles to contract and relax, and zinc supports testosterone. Without them, your penis struggles to respond no matter how much desire you feel. Caffeine itself makes things worse by spiking cortisol, your body's stress hormone. High cortisol drains testosterone, and without testosterone, erections are inconsistent and weak. I've seen men lose months, even years of confidence simply because this hidden hormonal sabotage went unnoticed. Coffee is also a diuretic, forcing your body to flush out water and electrolytes. Even mild dehydration reduces muscle and erectile strength by double digits. And then there's sleep. Many men over 60 already struggle with rest, and coffee robs them of the deep sleep they need to release growth hormone and repair erectile tissue. That's why so many men tell me they feel tired, drained, and unable to perform despite eating all the right foods. Now, does this mean you have to give up your morning ritual entirely? Not necessarily, but it does mean you must be mindful. Replacing that second or third cup with warm lemon water, cinnamon tea, or ginger tea can completely change how your body feels. I've watched men feel stronger within weeks after making this one adjustment, but coffee is not the only daily comfort food working against you. There is another one, far more common, that sits on breakfast tables all across America, and it is secretly destroying men's erections meal after meal. 6. White bread, the silent blood sugar trap. Of all the foods I warn my patients about, white bread is the one that surprises them the most. It looks harmless, comforting even. For many men, a couple of slices at breakfast or alongside dinner feels like tradition, something they've done their entire lives. But when men in their 60s and 70s come to me asking why their energy has faded, why their erections no longer hold, and why their bodies feel weaker despite eating protein, I often trace it back to those soft, white slices. White bread is made from refined flour that has been stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is essentially sugar in disguise. The moment you eat it, your blood sugar spikes like a roller coaster. That sudden surge triggers a flood of insulin, and while insulin has its purpose, in excess, it hijacks your body's ability to use protein for repair. Instead of building tissue and fueling blood flow, your body shuttles energy into fat storage. Erections demand steady circulation and nutrient delivery, and white bread sabotages both in a single bite. I recall one veteran in his early 80s who was desperate to understand why his efforts weren't working. He was eating yogurt, beans, and nuts, doing light exercise, but still his erections stayed weak. When I asked him about bread, he admitted he ate 2 slices with nearly every meal. Within weeks of removing white bread and switching to sprouted grain bread, he felt energy rushing back, his stamina improved, and for the first time in years, he woke up with strong morning erections. The look on his face when he told me was unforgettable. It wasn't just pride, it was relief that his body wasn't failing him after all. This is the trap of white bread. It feels innocent, but it steals from you quietly, day after day. Replacing it with sprouted grains, lettuce wraps, or even hearty vegetables like portobello mushrooms can transform how your body handles food. And when combined with the erection-restoring foods we've discussed, the results can be remarkable. Because the truth is, when you put all of these changes together, you don't just protect your erections, you reclaim your vitality. And that brings us to the conclusion, where I'll share how these lessons can restore not just your performance, but your confidence and independence as a man. Conclusion: bringing it all together. Gentlemen, we've covered a lot today, but the message is simple and powerful. Erections are not lost because of age alone. They fade when the body is starved of the right nutrients and poisoned by the wrong foods. I've seen this truth play out in my office for decades. Men who felt defeated, who believed their best days were behind them, discovered that small, consistent changes brought their strength and confidence back. And you can do the same. Think about what we discussed. Greek yogurt delivers the steady protein, calcium, and probiotics your body craves to fuel nitric oxide and smooth muscle function. Lentils supply iron and folate, carrying oxygen and life directly into your most vital tissue. Peanuts and natural peanut butter open your arteries, providing niacin and healthy fats that act like nature's own Viagra. Together, these foods give your penis what it truly needs to perform, not just today, but for years to come. But just as important are the enemies you must leave behind. Seed oils inflame your arteries and choke off blood flow. Coffee, especially in excess, blocks minerals, raises cortisol, and robs you of sleep and testosterone. White bread spikes blood sugar and silently drains your body of the ability to build and repair. These foods feel harmless, but I promise you, they are costing you the very manhood you want to preserve. I have watched men in their 60s, 70s, even 90s wake up with natural morning erections again, not because of a pill, but because they honored their bodies with the right choices. And I believe you can experience the same. Forget Viagra. Trust the foods that heal, the habits that strengthen, and the wisdom of men who came before us. This is your time to reclaim your vitality, your independence, and your confidence as a man. Your best days are not behind you. They can begin right now.